When you build a business based on impact, which I did, and we grew so big, we got awarded biggest in KZN last year and best as well. Let me just put that out there.
Congrats, congrats.
Okay, school ending shot manje bitch twala. Last number got the iduphinda uphala. Pull up in a trance namatushukala. Twala, bitch twala.
Okay, shota ngani masekufika thina gwala. Sofa kunemali bathi phala phala.
Hi, Sonaly. How
Hi.
you doing?
Been in here.
I'm good. So yeah, we met through Makita
100%.
as you guys have business together, business relations. So please introduce yourself to the people.
So I'm Sonaly. I'm from Durban. I have a company called Pause and Paint, which in a nutshell is therapeutic paint classes. And we have another company called Wearing a Masterpiece, which is customization on clothing, again, involving painting. And then Circle of Success kind of started with networking from my prior companies from a very young age. And then we kind of literally only gave it a name last year, to be honest. And
What Circle of Success?
yeah.
Oh,
So I think I've been networking from the time I was 19. Just didn't know what it was at the time. I'm a little bit old. But when we put a name to it and we understood it, it made sense.
Yeah,
Because if you're networking, you have to be willing to help people.
yeah.
You have to be willing to dig deep into what they need to know, what they want to know, how to guide them, and again, not gatekeep. So I did that. I started 2 companies at 19. I grew up with entrepreneur parents. So in that case, I was a silver spoon child. I wouldn't say financially they helped me. They made me, I was studying at the time, but they allowed me to pursue my passion for painting. So I did BCom law, which has nothing to do with painting, but I was passionate about that as well. When I opened my companies, it was purely because the customization was I painted on my clothes and then people saw that on social media or wanted that, and then that's how that company opened. It wasn't planned. And then Pause and Paint opened when I volunteered in the hospitals and like pretty much did murals of the process of TB and stuff. And then we learned what an impact painting has to people. And from there, things kept growing where I had fashion shows, and we hosted a fashion show based on for people who can't afford marketing. So we had designers coming from like DUT and like taxis, and then we had models, and then we had makeup artists, and like giving everyone an opportunity that couldn't afford that big opportunity. And so that's what I said. I was doing marketing from then, marketing and networking from then. We just didn't know what it was. I was just helping people to my knowledge. Fast forward 8 years, those people are now signed with international companies, working with big brands, moved overseas, etc. So just that small little opportunity, that small little break you had can take you to a whole different level. And it may take 8 years, it may take 8 months, it may take 8 weeks, who knows? But it's the matter of coming together and seeing what you can gain from the next person, how they can help you, how you can benefit. And it's not just benefiting monetary wise. Like the people in my life is if I gain from you financially, mentally, and emotionally, you're in my circle. If you're not, please go away, because we don't have the time as entrepreneurs to small talk. In all honesty, we don't. So let's get straight to it. Let's do what we got to do, come together. And as Makita spoke about being a female in business, well, I'm slightly older than her, but I've had more experience in that sense. And I try and help and guide as much as I can. And there were several times she asked me, how do I handle this situation? And I was like, oh gosh, I dealt with this like 2 years ago. This is what I did. And with doing that, it saved her from having anxiety, having to be stressed about something, or like having that unknown answers. But she just needed to ask me. So when we created the environment for Circle of Success, we actually had people write down questions and we read them out, and we either answered or we allowed the crowd to answer. Because we had people from the medical field, marketing field, transport field, like everything. Didn't matter what you do, as long as you have a business, you know how to run it. The principles are pretty much the same. So, but everyone's struggles are different. So that's where like you might be struggling with something and I can help you with that. Or I might be struggling with something, you can help me with that. So the questions we had were also very personal and very much to do with business. But I can say as millennials, mental health is the focus point in business now. And I think for networking, that's something we want to build on as well and focus on mental health, focus on how to cope with the stress, how to cope with the anxiety, how to cope with the unsettlement, how to cope with men in business. There's so many avenues to it that we try to touch base on as we go along.
Who started Circle of Success? Because I heard also Makita said we and we, but who's we?
Originally, I did,
Yeah.
but at the time, we were dealing with a lot of women who were much older than us. So that generation is not experiencing the same struggles we are, and we didn't experience what they did. So at that point, I think all the younger generation, me and her, came together and we need to do more. We need to do something where people around our age can connect and can actually collaborate and work together. And it's not just like literally all my friends I have now, I met through business. It's not like years of unnecessary people in your life. Like these people, like you pick up the phone, they know a person who can get something done, or vice versa. That's what we do. And when Makita, for her age, I thought she was my age. I'm 27. And with everything she experienced in life, reminded me so much of me when I was her age, actually. And we can all agree she's extremely mature for her age. And we just clicked instantly, like twin flame vibes. And you don't connect with people often, especially being a female in entrepreneur industry, stuff like that. It's always, as she said, competition. But then you get us who are the outcasts, who don't believe in that and who want to give that helping hand out. And I think that's how I was raised as well. You always help where you can, not to gain anything from it, but it's your gift, it's your calling.
Can I just ask you quickly as well? You said you've got a degree in BCom law, right?
No, I dropped out.
Oh, you dropped out as well? Okay. You dropped out which year?
In my final year.
Final year, okay.
That was COVID. I had to pick between studying and working because I got really busy during COVID, actually, because that was a time people needed something therapeutic to do, and that was painting. So I had to speak to my brown parents, who were very proud of me. And I'm one of the lucky ones who have a supportive family. My parents said, you can always go back to studying. Just people need you now. Do what you have to do. That's what I did.
You can pick it up from...
I can, but I won't. I won't.
I wanted to ask because I wanted to ask if that helped you dealing with the legal part of the business as well. I know there's a lot of legal contracts, admin, that law helps with as well.
Golden. Again, female, brown, in an industry that is not normal, not common, you have to stand your ground. And when you're a service provider, you looked at in a different manner. You looked at as your service, get it done. No, that's not how it works. We're not selling you a product. We're not buying it from somewhere else and giving it to you. It's my literal talent. It's my literal gift that I am sharing with you and helping you through your mental health, through your process. And we focus a lot on art therapy as well. So that is purely expressing your feelings through painting or art, and not turning to drugs, alcohol, and things that are not going to actually help you. And when it comes to being in the industry for so long, when I was much younger, 19, it was more like a hobby. It was something I loved doing. But when it got busy and serious, we had to bring policies into place and terms and conditions and et cetera, et cetera. So that's how my degree really helped, and also selling the business as well. So yeah.
So is it almost like it's done probably like at a certain place?
Yes, I have a studio.
You have a studio, okay.
Our studio is based in Gateway at Unity Performing Arts. Okay. So Unity is pretty much a creative space for anyone in the creative industry. So dancers, musicians, artists, anyone who can create something, they have given us a platform to do that and build the community. Yeah.
It's only based in Durban at the moment.
For now.
But you're going to branch out to like Joburg and everything.
I would like to. I'd say the market is pretty messed up at the moment where I started this very long ago, 8 years ago, with the intentions of helping people through art. And then it became a social thing. Then it became a sip and paint thing. Then it became just drinks. But for us,
That's what I thought about actually. Sip and paint. That was the first thing that
no,
came to
I'm
mind.
the OG. Let me just clear that out on air.
Yeah.
That's why we don't use the word sip and paint. The company is called, the company is called Pause and Paint because you take a break from reality, you come to us, we get you in check, you go back home, right? It has nothing to do with alcohol. It has nothing to do with socializing. A lot of people come alone. And they come alone purely based on the fact that while I'm teaching, while I'm instructing, you taking in what I'm telling you and you actually using it. You're not just sitting there painting a printed picture. It's a lot deeper than just that. Anyone can Google something and paint it. But now we're teaching you a skill that can actually help you in your actual daily life.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not sip and paint. It is pause and paint, and there's a lot more meaning to it than just painting. Yeah.
So do you get annoyed sometimes when people, like you said, focus more on the social side of things as opposed to the art of painting as well?
I don't say I get annoyed. I'd say people who come now, like my clients have been coming to me from 8 years ago when I first started, when I was taking in like 16 people at a time. Now we take 64 at a time. And those people have supported me throughout because it has helped them throughout. And it does become social. We do like bridal showers, kitchen teas, parties, etc. We do also music-inspired nights and things like that. But even though it's social, you and your company is with you, it's still good company. It's not a bad influence in your life, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Wow, I'm so inspired by you guys, eh?
Yo.
Like I'm questioning myself. What am I doing in my life,
Bro.
Like,
because we actually close to your age. Like I'm 26, and you 25.
Yeah, I'm 25.
Yeah, so like the things you guys are doing,
Women.
and
women as well. Brown women as well. Brown women as well. It's
bro.
very huge.
It's amazing. So the circle of success, how do you pick the people and
We don't.
so
We don't. Anyone's welcome to come in.
anyone,
Yeah, so like what we do is we advertise the event on social media. We have our page, and then I collaborated with my Pause and Paint page and Makita's Air Hostings page. And then so pretty much our audience on there already know us as people. So they know what we can bring to the table. And that's how they come in, book a seat, come in, then you mingle, get to know more people. Durban's also pretty small, so like most of the time everyone knows everyone, but for the wrong reasons. But when it comes to business, we put everything aside, and that's what we there for, So it's not, even if I made it clear the first time I had the first one, even if you don't have a business and you want to have one, come network.
Is the barriers to entry like price? Like, do you have to?
Yes. So I think our last one was 100 Rand per person, but we had food and beverages available for you during those 3 hours of it.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of networking, and we had like presentations, and then we did the questionnaires with everyone because we wanted everyone to feel involved. And then everyone had a 1 minute time slot to introduce themselves and their business. And then we gave them notebooks and pens as well on us, and they took notes as we went along. So as much as we want to sit on our phones and take notes, it's not the same as writing it down because you don't remember it. It's a psychological thing. If you write it down, you're automatically going to remember it. And that's we kind of went old school in that manner, to do it in that sense, like go back how it was done back in the day. But also that's a way of helping to just get away from technology sometimes and just get in touch with yourself. And I think that's what we try to focus on as in mental health as well, for the millennials and Gen Zs and whatever other terms there is.
And I can see that mental health is a very big thing to you as well.
Yes,
I want to
it is.
ask, how do you deal with your mental health problems? If you've ever had problems?
Medication.
Yeah.
So I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression in 2016. My painting actually got me through it. I refused to go on anything at the time. And then my painting healed the process and actually allowed me to understand what was happening. Because I'm not the kind of person to like sit down and talk about my feelings. I know it's hypocritical to say that, but now I can. But back then, when you're 18 and 19, you don't really want to do that. So that's why we're trying to create more awareness for it. You should do that. You shouldn't suffer for so long. It's okay to talk about it. It actually saves you, literally saves you. And at the time, I wasn't taking anything. And my dog, Zia, actually was a very big part in that. She was like my little go-to. And my family as well. So I'd say in my case, I got lucky. But I know amongst the brown community, not everyone is that lucky. So that's why then you get people like us who speak openly about it and try and create awareness for it and try and help people and say it's okay to not be okay. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. We all make it through it. It's okay to have bad days. We're human, guys. You can't pretend like you're 100% all the time. And simple example, I was teaching. We had a ladies' night at the studio and everyone was vibing, whatever the case is. Got a message that my granny had passed away. Mind you, had to put everything aside, all my emotions aside, get back on that platform and teach. And no one knew what happened. And I excused myself towards the end. But I think when you're running a business as well, you have to keep it professional, keep boundaries, but also still be human. We're not robots. I mean, a lot of people think like we operate, I don't know on what, but we all have blood in our body. But it's a process, and it's, if you're willing to get the help, there is help out there. So you don't need to turn to things that are going to make you feel numb. You need to turn to things that are actually going to allow you to feel it and work through it. That's the only way you're going to get through it. Like come to terms with it. So I'm grateful that I had the support structure and the knowledge to do that. And now teach other people how to manage it.
So when you said you took medication, right?
Yes.
Didn't it mess you up? Because my dad takes medication for his depression and anxiety.
So I took something called Stress Away. You can literally get it off the shelf at Discount. It's a herbal medication. No, when I say herbal, not THC or CBD. At that time, that was like illegal, I think. But this was just like normal herbal medication. Took 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. What this does is it pretty much drops your paranoia, right? So you can focus on your tasks in the day. It doesn't give you a high. It doesn't make you like overly excited or anything of that sort. It literally just drops that fear, that paranoia, that everything that anxiety and depression brings to you to get on with what you have to do. And then you take 2 before you sleep because we all know when we sleep, our mind is working way more than it's supposed to. And that it drops that as well. And then you get on with life. And I took it for 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you stop now, you don't anymore.
No, I stopped now.
You don't need it anymore.
I take something now. But that was based on, I was in a car accident and that triggered a lot of trauma for me. So that's a different type of paranoia. That's coming from something. Most of the time when people have anxiety and depression, it's not stemmed from a trigger, trauma. It just comes to you. But I personally believe if you go through something traumatic in a sense where like this accident like changed my life in a way, maybe look at things differently. It was a drunk driver. I literally hate alcohol, all of those things. Then if you need that extra help, then you get that extra help. So I do have anxiety meds on hand, but that's if I feel I need it. But also because I'm so used to the anxiety, I know how to manage it. And I think that takes a lot to be able to say, get it together. And I'm not fighting with myself. It's like, I know I'm better than what I'm feeling right now. But there's sometimes when you really can't manage and you have to take it. And it's okay to take it. I feel like when we talk about meds for mental health, everyone's like, oh, don't do it. No, it's fine. If it makes you delusional, stop.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't and it actually helps you, it's fine to take it. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
I think if it's herbal, like the one you said you
Yeah.
took first,
I
like,
would
that's
suggest
better.
that for anyone.
Yeah,
In all
yeah.
honesty, you have to allow it to work. It's not going to work overnight. You have to prepare yourself mentally for it to work. It's
How
not
to
a magic
prepare-
trick.
How do you have to prepare yourself?
Believe that it's going to work.
Oh,
Manifest it.
yeah,
Like, you have to, if you don't believe it,
yeah.
who's going to believe it?
So
Like a placebo effect in a sense.
yeah, well, if you say that, you can just believe maybe you don't have anxiety.
You can actually get out of it.
Yeah,
you can
you can just
convince
say-
yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I
So
feel like, back in the days, it was probably like that as well. Because they didn't know what anxiety
they didn't
was.
exactly.
So
Our
they were just like,
parents
okay,
didn't
I
know
feel
what
like
it
this, but
was.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on with life, Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like for example, when I was diagnosed, my parents didn't know much about it, but they took the initiative to learn about it, which I'm grateful for. I know some of my friends who have it, and then their parents just like, oh, go have some tea, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's not the case, man. Like sometimes it can really pull you down. Like I know friends that have failed in campus and stuff based on the anxiety and depression because they can't cope with it, because they don't have the support structure.
Yeah.
But if you now, if you're saying like I can convince myself that I don't have it and I can snap out of it, now I can.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen when you're at your peak and you need that help. So it's going to take some time to get there.
Because with me, I think you also had like anxiety.
Yeah, I do. I still do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got my way of dealing with it as well.
Yeah.
Is it healthy?
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I'm still battling with it.
Yeah. I
We'll
think-
talk after this.
Yeah.
But for me, like books help me, and wisdom from people who've lived, and them telling you what to do through the books. That really helped me, and I wish I read books when I was still
Me
young,
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have really helped me, but yeah, that really helped me.
Speaking of reading, that helped me in many ways because when I was in school, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. And I'm still dyslexic. I have no shame in it. I'm still brilliant at everything I do. I will stand by that 100%. It just makes me extra special. But I had difficulty reading when I was younger, so I didn't do it. But now, give me a book and I am in my zone because I'm learning so much from it. I'm not the novel reader like that, fantasy and romance and stuff. I'm reading something that's going to benefit my life, that I'm going to learn from, that I can take and tell you about it, and I can take and tell Makita about it, or someone else about it. And that's, if I'm gaining knowledge from it, I will 100% read it. And I think that just will better your life in every aspect of what
What's
you
your
do.
favorite book?
My favorite author right now is Rhonda, and she's the OG.
Secret.
Yeah,
That's my
the
favorite
secret
book.
is the secret. Literally,
Yeah.
like I'm reading the one called The Magic now,
Oh,
and she is just life changing. So
Yo.
if anyone's struggling, I would
Yeah,
suggest go
yeah.
get The Secret
'Cause it's
or
like-
watch the documentary on Netflix. You'll switch. It's a literal mental switch, and that's how I had. That's how I handle things way better now.
Yeah.
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 Just
guys
because you
finish your
understand
books,
it. Yeah, you have to.
Well,
I
the
suck at
secret
that,
is so,
yeah.
like yo.
You'll want to know
finish
more
it.
and
Oh, yeah,
more,
more.
because the math is mathing. You know, she's talking about life. It's like talking to a therapist, and it's like you feeling these things, and you didn't know someone else is feeling it, and you feeling heard even though you're reading from it. If that makes sense, you'll understand.
Okay. But with the art, before you created Pause and Paint, did you want to like sell your art, like become like an artist where you take it to exhibitions?
Yes. So back then, I was nominated for exhibitions, and even in school I won a lot of competitions and stuff like that. I was very well known to being the artist everywhere, but I didn't know there was so much of change that can happen through it. It wasn't just hanging a picture in a gallery. It's not going to make anything. It can make you millions, but that'll take you like 20, 30 years to get to that point. But
That's why most of them are like old.
Exactly. And what can you do with the money when you fail? No offense. But the important part was the impact it had. And that was when I was working at King George Hospital. And I would go to campus. After campus, I'd go straight to hospital. We'd work there till like 9. There was like 2 other artists we collabed with. And that was literally life-changing, in a sense where you'd see these kids in this pediatric ward watching you and just want to know more and like understand it, because also kids, they do not understand the medical process of TB, so we visually painted it for them to understand it. And then we painted the effects of life after your treatment, so you can go to parks, you can go back to school, you can be with your family, you're not in hospital, etc. Then we painted Nelson Mandela as well. He was a TB survivor. And then we created a wall of hope as well with praying hands. So they always have faith in the matter of getting better.
Yeah.
So realizing so much impact can have on these little kids. We educated them. We gave them faith and something to look forward to. Just with painting. No one would think of that. Yeah. And then I wouldn't say I found a loophole, but I found a way to help people. The first lot of people I taught was cancer patients going through treatment, and that was at the Cancer Association. So we painted paintings that have meaning to it. So when you look back at it, it's impactful. It's not just random. So that's why when this whole sip and paint thing comes up, I get so annoyed, because like we impact so much, and then people are just taking your ideas, taking your marketing, taking your videos, and just so pretty much. When we get compared to other companies in a similar industry, it's a bit offensive, because my painting goes a lot deeper with a lot more meaning than just entertainment. Yes, there is a loophole in the market, but also there is intentions of why we start something in the first place. And our reason for that was to help people and to impact people. And we're still doing it now, thankfully. But you get the randoms coming in saying, oh, is this a paint, this. No, it's not. So the comparison is there. Durban is small. Whatever it is, people take your videos, use it as their videos, whatever, even though you can see me instructing. But
also for the fact that like you've been doing it for 8 years.
Yeah.
Because sip and paint became a thing like maybe the past 3 years, maybe. So you were kind of like a pioneer.
Because of me.
Exactly. I was going to say, you were a pioneer. You kind of started it. You're a blueprint to what people are doing now. Anyway.
But having said that, the intentions are so different.
Yeah.
So that's why I would never like compare myself to them or like get fully offended by it. It's annoying, yes, because the audience, the clients don't know. Can't blame them. I can't get angry at them. But me personally, like I just get on with it. I know what I do. I know what I can bring to the table. I know how I can make you feel after you leave my session. So I'll always stand my ground in that manner.
Feels like it was more of like an NPO for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am the biggest volunteer you'll meet in your life.
Like another NPO.
I like to impact. And no matter what that is, even during the riots, we held the feeding point at my home. So we fed over 5,000 families during the riots, from not having bread for 3 days to having unlimited access to bread from a lot of organizations that we worked with. And then even the floods, in Durban, I'm sure you heard the floods were a bit crazy. We put a stop to our businesses for 1.5 weeks. Me and my friends, we teamed up, we fed every single day. So again, impact, not for recognition. These people don't know who we are. They don't care who we are. As long as we know we can give you a blanket to keep your family warm and a hot meal, we know we accomplished something. So that's why everything I do, even my price range for when I teach, my tickets are 150. I'm covering cost. Profit margin, okay, yes, we do make money, but the thing is that I can increase my prices, but I don't want to, because with our economy today, doing activity is a luxury. But I know people need that help. I know people need that outlet. I know people need that little place where they can just express themselves with no one judging them, with no one thinking anything of it, because everyone's doing it. So it's like a safe place for you. So that's why we keep it in ranges where anyone can come in.
Because with a business like that, you could easily charge like in the thousands.
I can. I have people that come in with bodyguards, and then I have people that come in who come with public transport. My target market is, I can't even cap it for you guys.
Very diverse.
It's everyone. It's everyone who finds a reason to do it.
Because people who are profit motivated would want to attract more of the rich people because they'd feel like maybe if they get complaints from the more wealthier people, like I don't want to be next to this person because
In
so and
all
so.
honesty, we've never experienced that, and I can say that openly because I've been doing it for so long. When you come in, you switch off and you're coming here for a reason.
Yeah.
And no one knows who anyone is. And it so happens that when people come in, they make friends with people around them. They start talking to them, they get to know them, and things like that. So amongst themselves, our audience, they become friends on their own. Like even if they came alone and they're next to a couple, they start talking. Like that's how it is. It depends on you and your intentions when you come in. There's only so much I can control. I mean, controlling like 60 people at a time is a lot. But I'm grateful for having a really good team behind me as well, who keep the fort together, in all honesty. And yeah, like the support as an entrepreneur is life-changing.
Are you guys
Because
on social media as well?
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not viral like Makita. I'm just pretty basic.
But like the page of like your page.
Yes. So our page is Pause and Paint,
Pause and
and it's not the cat pause. It's like PAUSE, like stop. Pause and Paint on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah.
Wow. She said you hate men.
That's what I was about to say.
Before we wrap it up, like what was that about?
I don't hate them.
Yeah.
There's a handful of really good ones in my life. It's just that I'd say I'm quite mature for my age. So a lot of people, guys my age, are not on the same maturity level as me. And like I always said, my goal is to retire at 30. And that's not to just live my best life, it's to follow my calling, which is my NPO and voluntary purposes, and have businesses running where I don't have to be present. For Pause and Paint, I need to be present. But for being in business for so long and knowing so many people and knowing a certain caliber of people as well is threatening for a man. And I can't make you a man. I'm so sorry. It's not my job. But I've met men who've mentored me and supported me and really took me to the next level. And then you get brown boys who are intimidated by it. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my energy. I've worked with so many guys from the time I started, and now they're at this level where they're going international, they're featuring here, there, whatever it is. And that's because we all gave each other a chance in work-wise. But when it comes to on a social scale, you're either not taken seriously, you're either taken too seriously, or you're either looked at as a snob. And because I can buy my own drink, buy my own bottle, buy my own bag, and I don't actually need anything from you, they get offended by it. But don't get me wrong, I love to be spoiled. But because I did it for myself for so long, it doesn't impress me if someone else does it. For the wrong reasons. Which is most of the time. So I don't hate them, but I had a fair share of not fun experiences with men.
Yeah, I think the problem with that, well, I guess if I'm gonna say this, is kind of off topic, but
It's fine.
the problem with that is that like a lot of men don't have game. That's why they tend to be like that. They tend to want to control a lady. And,
Yes.
buy a lady, and yeah, like they just don't know how to treat a lady.
It's a bit hard when someone's in control of their life 24/7, and then you get someone trying to come and control that situation. Like, what do you do? Like, leave me alone. I don't know what to do with you. Like, if you want to support me, let's build together, let's grow together, let's do what we got to do. But if you can't do that, you come out of my environment. Like, I'm so against the toxicness. If you make me feel a certain way, like I'm so big on energy. If you make me feel icky, I'm walking away. Like I couldn't care how rich you are, what deals you have, what you can do. I'm walking away because my mental health, my sanity is more important than the dollar signs at any given point.
You work hard to
Yeah.
get where you at with your mental health. Also.
Yeah. And I worked hard for myself and for the impact that I have for anyone to just dim my light because I'm not going to let that happen. I did, but I'm not going to let it happen again. That's why I hate men.
Oh, I thought you were like a feminist type of thing.
No,
Yeah.
no.
You hate men like feminist vibes.
I think
But
people
that
get
makes sense,
feminism so wrong. We don't hate men.
Yeah.
We just don't believe that there should be like gender roles that are specific. Like if you live alone, you still have to feed yourself and cook for yourself and clean your apartment because you live alone. And then when you get a partner or a wife or a girlfriend, whatever, does it become her duty? Topic for another day. But but I'm saying like that's where the mix up is, like the gender role thing. Like that's where everyone's like, oh, if you're a feminist, you just hate men. No, we don't. It's just like men think that they're still superior, and then we kind of bring them back down to earth, and then we clear the air, and then we're good.
Yeah.
But if you can't understand that, I'm gonna waste my time.
Yeah.
Really, like don't waste my time. Like
I think
time is money.
It's a misconception because of social media as well.
Yes,
Twitter
100%.
especially.
Yeah, but a lot of females use it as a weapon to, I don't know, like
I think it's
in a
insecurities.
negative way. Yeah.
Insecurities and to safeguard themselves. Like as Makita mentioned, tapping into masculine and feminine energy is so big, and you don't understand it because you have to play the role of the boss, play the role of someone who sets the boundaries, play the gentle role of bringing people in. It's a lot. And then you can meet someone who makes you bring out the masculine side, and then you can meet someone who brings out the feminine side. So it has nothing to do about money. It has to do with how someone makes you feel. And if I'm feeling like I have to be more masculine, not like a man, but if I have to be more stern, then it's not for you. You're fighting too hard. You shouldn't. You really shouldn't. As women, we shouldn't. But unfortunately, we have to at times. And I think not everyone has the guts to say the things that I'm saying now. But I was grown up in a household where my dad taught us independence. Even though, don't get me wrong, we grew up with everything. That man spoiled us to the core. I cannot even disregard him in that sense. But he taught us independence. He taught us, get a job, do this, rely on yourself, and get it done. But apart from that, it was fine. He's with my dad. He can spoil me. If I ever get married, I expect my husband to do the same thing for my kids because I grew up in that manner. But having said that, if that's not the case, I will be able to do that too. I'm not going to rely on someone to do that. That was the whole point. So it's a touchy topic. We need another interview.
Yeah, we need like a full podcast for this topic actually.
But it's comes down to like women use it as a defense mechanism. In all honesty, don't get me wrong, I'm all for the girls, but sometimes we are wrong, and sometimes it is a defense mechanism. Sometimes it is thrown in your face because you don't know what else to say. And again, social media is a big thing about it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just need to chill. Like just if it's not worth the fight, don't fight.
Yeah.
And in anything, in business, personal, family, if it's not worth it, just you have to let go of things that are making you feel like you're a chokehold.
Just pause and paint.
Yes.
Hey, that's good. One more question on this topic as well.
Oh, you are having fun with
sorry.
this.
What's your take on patriarchy?
I don't believe in it.
Don't believe in it.
No. I'm going to keep it simple. I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has a purpose, and unfortunately in our economy we don't have the opportunity to always do and be what we want to be. But I feel like everyone does have a purpose, and everyone will find it and find a way to actually do it. So in that sense, I'm a non-believer. If that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Wanna come at me anymore?
Nah.
I got for you. It's fine.
Maybe next time.
Okay, same question as Makita. Makita. If you only had 24 hours left to live, what would you do?
Make sure my legacy is carried to impact. I think as an entrepreneur, most of the time people assume it's just dollar signs. But when you build a business based on impact, which I did, and we grew so big, we got awarded biggest in KZN last year and best as well. Let me just put that out there. you want that legacy to carry on. Not for the name, not for the brand, not for the money, but for the impact.
Yeah.
And if I wish for anything, if I had that 24 hours, I would make sure that is done. And I know the people to do it. So yeah, that would be it.
I love how you spoke about impact, actually. I was talking to a friend of mine at work the other day, and we spoke about Tupac, actually. Tupac died at 25.
Yo, bro,
but his impact is still on to this day.
bro.
That is so crazy.
And it's still
actually.
unmatched.
It's still unmatched.
Still unmatched,
At 25
period.
years of
Yeah.
age, bro.
Bro.
Wow.
Like, if you listen to his music,
Yeah.
some people can actually very much relate to the struggle and then the success and then the dip in danger of everything. And that impact is his legacy.
Yeah.
It's relatable. His story is relatable. So impact is important. We just don't speak about it much. And I think we should.
That's why they say legends never die.
Yeah.
Yeah. They live forever, bro. Because they don't live only in the physical flesh, but as well as in the impact they made spiritually as well. You know, so that's huge as well.
This was amazing. Do you have anything you want to share with the people, like any businesses or like social medias and stuff?
Firstly, pause and paint. That's it. Also, if you have a passion or something you're good at but don't know how to do it, just do it. Just do it. Take the risk. Take the risk. Have a plan. Have a backup plan. Take the risk again. Don't give up. There's really a market for everything. There really is hope for everything, and there are people willing to hear you out.
Yeah.
There are people willing to want to know what you can do and what you will do.
Yeah.
So take the risk. You never know who's listening. So that's what I did. Yeah.
Wow.
I think even like you guys coming together, I can see like the relatability because she's very kind and open-hearted, and you are also, and that's what brings you guys together.
I am, but I'm also very much a powerhouse.
Yeah, I noticed that. Even when we got here, I noticed that. Yeah.
And I'm trying to convince Makila to get there. But when I was her age, I was exactly the same.
Yeah.
I was actually about to say that as well.
Yeah.
You're like a big sister
Yeah.
/ friend as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And I wish I had someone like me when I was younger to tell me, don't do this, do that instead. And that's why I think I'm so big on sharing so much, because I don't want people to have those same feelings or regrets or anything of that sort. I mean, I don't regret much, but there's certain interactions that I wish I didn't have or could have avoided or whatever the case is. So that is something I'll always speak about. Yeah.
Thank you guys very much, man. Yo.
Thank you for having
thank you
us.
for watching, guys.
Yeah.
Don't forget to what do you say again?
Share, like, subscribe, comment, you know.
do all of that. Just please.
Did I make you guys nervous?
No, I actually always do that.
Oh.
Actually.
Yeah. Peace out.
Peace outie.